Paul is a projectionist engrossed in a mystery novel to stave off boredom. Paul's brief flirtation at the concession stand breaks the monotony before he returns to his booth. Suddenly, the theater plunges into darkness. Amidst eerie silence, emergency lights flicker to life, revealing Paul as the sole survivor amidst abandoned belongings. As he explores the desolate mall, he encounters a flashlight-wielding security guard, his only companion. However, the guard inexplicably disappears, leaving behind only his clothes and shoes in an unsettling turn of events. Meanwhile, Dr. Rosemary navigates the hospital corridors, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. Despite her calls for help echoing unanswered, faint moans lead her to a brightly lit operating room. Inside, a man lies exposed under surgical lights, consciousness returning as emergency power flickers. In a disconcerting turn, he too disappears when the lights fail. Anxious, Rosemary desperately calls out for her son, Manny. The next day, Luke wakes up amidst the glow of candles, a romantic gesture from his girlfriend, Paige. The morning light floods the room, but Paige is absent. Luke, oblivious to the oddity, leaves for work, snagging yesterday's newspaper on his way out. It's not until he steps on discarded glasses and clothes in the building's foyer that he looks up, sensing something amiss. As Luke navigates the desolate streets, abandoned cars line the roads, silent witnesses to the eerie emptiness. In the distance, a plane crashes without notice. Rushing to his office, Luke senses encroaching darkness in the hallway, trailing his steps. In his own space, Luke sifts through faded photographs, unaware of darkness creeping closer until the image fades to black, startling him. Days pass in a blur, the city's nighttime streets now Luke's solitary domain. With a flashlight gripped tightly in hand and smaller lights adorning his neck, Luke scours the abandoned cars, hoping to find one that will spring to life. Frustration mounts as each car proves stubbornly inert. Finally, in the solitude of the last car, Luke pauses to catch his breath, the weight of his isolation bearing down on him. Upon hearing distant cries for help, Luke instinctively closes the car door, wary of the approaching stranger. The man pleads for assistance, his fading lighter signaling imminent danger. Yet, consumed by his own survival, Luke denies aid, unwilling to share his meager resources. As darkness engulfs the man, Luke resumes his solitary quest, scouring the deserted streets for essentials. Luke, lured by a distant melody, seeks refuge in Sunny's, an oasis in the silent city. In the basement, he meets James, armed and tense. Despite initial tension, their encounter sparks a confrontation that jeopardizes the fragile peace of their refuge. Observing James's unease, Luke offers camaraderie, sharing drinks and stories. Luke discovers James's vigil for his lost mother amidst the city's darkness. Luke grimly acknowledges time as their foe, daylight waning by the day. Despite Luke's warnings, James holds on to hope for his mother's return. Rosemary's arrival intensifies the tension as she searches desperately for her missing son, Manny. Meanwhile, Paul seeks refuge in a dim shed amidst the chaos. Rosemary recounts her harrowing experience of the initial disappearance, convinced Manny is at the pub and driven by maternal instincts. Amidst the eerie silence, Paul's cries pierce the night, a beacon drawing the trio into the heart of uncertainty. Despite Luke's initial reluctance, the unwavering resolve of Rosemary and James compelled him to venture forth. Their journey was fraught with peril, Luke's senses honed in on the ominous shadows lurking nearby, a foreboding reminder of the encroaching darkness. As they reached Paul's side, a glimmer of hope flickered amidst the gloom. A solar-powered shelter, a sanctuary amidst the chaos. With each step, the specter of darkness loomed ever closer, threatening to engulf them in its sinister embrace. In a race against time, Luke's sparkler became their guiding light, a fragile barrier against the encroaching shadows. Within the sanctuary of Sunny's, they attended to Paul's wounds by the flickering candlelight, unraveling the mysteries veiling his ordeal. Amidst the exchange of theories, Rosemary posited divine retribution, while Luke, propelled by frustration and protectiveness, challenged this notion, his focus on young James, an emblem of innocence in the unfolding chaos. As debates ensued, the flickering light served as a reminder of their precarious situation. Paul, sensing the strain on the generator, urged them to shed unnecessary load, a pragmatic step to conserve dwindling power. A locked door in the basement intrigued them, identified by James as a potential escape route, a portal to uncertainty. In a moment of frustration, Paul's kicks resonated with the generator's hum, a brief dance between instability and illumination. With a steadied glow, Paul unraveled a tale rooted in history, the lost colony of Roanoke. A civilization erased without a trace, leaving behind the cryptic inscription, Croatoan. Paul, weaving threads of the past into their present predicament, speculated on a cosmic reset, an unsettling force resetting the pieces on the chessboard of existence. Amidst the unsettling atmosphere, Paul's sudden collapse fractures their fragile equilibrium, plunging them into uncertainty. They gently lay him on the pool table, where Rosemary's maternal instinct takes hold, urgently calling for an ice compress in the dimly lit sanctuary. Luke, engulfed in the eerie calm, reflects on the spectral dance of shadows that haunted his existence. Memories resurface, the sight of Paige's abandoned dress, a poignant relic of a vanished reality. Luke witnesses the spectral ballet, captured in the reel of vanishing souls. The intrusion of a live transmission shatters the fragile calm. A voice from the abyss, a beckoning call from the past. The Chicago Reporter's spectral message, laden with cryptic urgency, resonates in the darkness. Shadows, elusive and deceptive, weave a tapestry of uncertainty, casting doubt upon the very fabric of reality. As darkness descends once more, Luke ventures forth into the abyss. Across the threshold, amidst the spectral murmurings, Paige's voice, a haunting echo from the void, beckons, a siren song in the labyrinth of shadows, leading him deeper into the enigma of the vanished town. As spectral apparitions encroach, Luke recoils, his heart pounding with primal fear as the ethereal forms close in on him. With a surge of resolve, he retreats to his office, tearing down the blinds and flooding the space with the life-giving embrace of sunlight, dispersing the shadows like ephemeral mist. Back at the pub, emboldened by newfound clarity, Luke resolves to depart, armed with revelations from the cryptic broadcast. Chicago beckons, an enigmatic beacon amidst the encroaching darkness. With steely determination, Luke unveils his plan, urging his companions to join him on the journey into the unknown. Rosemary's maternal instincts tether her to the promise of reunion, while James, bound by filial duty, grapples with the weight of responsibility. Luke persuades reluctant souls to embrace the uncertain path that lies ahead. Luke and Rosemary embark on their quest, fueled by determination and tempered by uncertainty. Meanwhile, James tends to the wounded, his resolve tested by the burden of responsibility. In a tender moment, Rosemary shares a fleeting kiss with Paul, their connection illuminated by the glow of hope amidst encroaching darkness. With a gentle touch, she adorns James with a luminous necklace, a beacon of reassurance in the gathering gloom. Outside, the flickering beacon of Rosemary's flashlight betrays the waning strength of their dwindling power supply, a grim reminder of their precarious plight. Together, they strain against the weight of the truck, its bulk a testament to their shared determination to defy the encroaching shadows. Within the confines of the pub, Paul's plaintive plea echoes through the dimly lit space, his desire for one last melody a poignant reminder of life's fleeting moments. James, dutiful in his care, fulfills his friend's request, the strains of music offering solace amidst the encroaching night. Yet, darkness descends with relentless inevitability, shrouding their sanctuary in a veil of uncertainty. As Paul's screams pierce the silence, fear grips their hearts, a chilling reminder of the lurking horrors that lie beyond the feeble glow of their dwindling light. Amidst whispered recollections and shared memories, a sense of camaraderie blooms, a fragile shield against the encroaching shadows. In the midst of their reverie, a flicker of movement catches their eye, a fleeting apparition, a harbinger of unknown perils. As the ghostly shadows loom closer, Rosemary's quick thinking illuminates their path, casting a defiant light against the encroaching darkness. Meanwhile, Paul's concern deepens when James fails to respond to his calls. Discovering James's abandoned necklace, Paul ventures into the depths of the basement, guided by the faint echo of his friend's voice. In their struggle against fading light, Luke crafts a makeshift torch, a glimmer against encroaching darkness. Rosemary urges caution, seeking sustainable illumination. They head to the hospital, a foreboding refuge. Paul's futile efforts hasten darkness, his mantra echoing hopelessly. Paul finds himself back at the pool table, calling for James, who searches in vain. Meanwhile, Rosemary's resourcefulness leads her to unearth a lighter, a feeble flame against the encroaching darkness. Determined to keep their dwindling light alive, she ventures deeper into the hospital's depths, her resolve unyielding even as the shadows loom ever closer. In a moment of cruel deception, the piercing wail of an unseen infant lures Rosemary into the desolate streets, her frantic search yielding only empty promises in the harsh glare of a spotlight. Accepting the bitter truth, she stands alone against the night, her silent resignation a testament to the merciless whims of fate. Undeterred by tragedy, Luke presses onward, his determination unbroken even as darkness claims another soul. With the truck finally within reach, he and James unite their efforts to power the generator, a flickering beacon of hope amidst the encroaching gloom. Panicked and determined, Luke maneuvers the truck in reverse, its hood obstructing their view of the road ahead. He implores James to maintain the gas pedal's pressure to sustain the engine's operation while he grapples with the hood, desperately striving to restore their sight line. Yet, James's gaze fixates on the distant silhouette of the church, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Disregarding Luke's directives, James resolves to seek solace within the church's hallowed halls, driven by the elusive promise of reunion with his mother. Luke's protestations fall on deaf ears as James strides resolutely toward the church, leaving Luke torn between loyalty and necessity. With each passing mile, Luke's journey to Chicago is punctuated by eerie omens, the ominous inscription of Croatoan looming ominously overhead, a harbinger of looming danger. Meanwhile, within the church's somber interior, James's quest for familial reunion unwittingly invites the encroaching shadows, their sinister presence lurking just beyond his perception. As James's search for his mother leads him deeper into the church's shadowed recesses, the specter of darkness closes in, poised to ensnare him in its grasp. As James approaches the altar, hope dwindles with the sight of abandoned clothing, a silent testament to dashed expectations. In the ensuing darkness, Luke's frantic pursuit is swallowed by shadows, leaving him ensnared in the church's sinister embrace. Amidst encroaching darkness, James clings to the flickering light of the candles, defiantly asserting his existence against the engulfing void. Yet, even the feeble glow succumbs to the relentless advance of shadows, plunging James and Luke into the abyss of uncertainty. With the dawn's arrival, the cityscape emerges as an eerie tableau of deserted streets and silent witnesses to their plight. In a remarkable turn, James awakens amidst unlit candles, greeted by Briana, a beacon of survival in a world veiled by darkness. Briana's resourcefulness, tethered to a solar-powered flashlight, offers a glimmer of hope amidst encroaching despair. Despite the transient nature of sunlight, their journey unfolds against the backdrop of a desolate cityscape, punctuated by the serendipitous encounter with a horse, a symbol of resilience amidst adversity. United by shared resolve, James and Briana embark on a voyage toward Chicago, guided by the flickering light that heralds their path. Shadows lengthen and night descends. The spectral silhouettes of Luke, Paul, and Rosemary stand sentinel, guardians of a world besieged by darkness. Paul's comparison to the Roanoke colony, coupled with Luke's discovery of the enigmatic word, Croatoan, underscores the chilling parallel between their plight and the historical mystery that has eluded resolution for centuries. The inexplicable disappearance of the Roanoke settlers finds an eerie echo in their own unfolding tragedy. In the face of an implacable adversary, James and Briana's journey becomes a poignant testament to the indomitable human spirit. Yet, their valiant efforts may ultimately prove futile against the inexorable advance of shadows that threaten to engulf them. In the end, there is no sanctuary from the encroaching darkness, no refuge from the relentless tide that consumes all in its path.